Hachette Audio presents H-Spot, The Feminist Pursuit of Happiness. Written and read by Jill Filipovic.
Introduction. Ultimately, the greatest service a woman can do to her community is to be happy. The degree of revolt and irresponsibility which she must manifest to acquire happiness is the only sure indication of the way things must change if there is to be any point in continuing to be a woman at all. Germaine Greer. For 3 years of my mid-20s, the happiest I felt was in the backseat of a car, late at night, driving down the FDR on the east side of Manhattan. I would look out the window across the river at the lit-up Pepsi-Cola sign in Queens, then the Domino Sugar Factory in Williamsburg, and finally the three bridges, Williamsburg, Manhattan, Brooklyn, the last of which would take me home. I took that drive probably 100 times. It was usually dark, maybe 11 p.m., maybe 3 a.m., maybe the sun was already peeking up. I would slump back, gaze out, and silently calculate how long I had to sleep before I had to be back in Midtown Manhattan. But in those nighttime hours speeding down the east side, I would look at the outer borough lights and the imposing bridges and this impossibly bright city, and remind myself to grasp at the one thing that made me happy. At least you're here. Up until that point, I had spent most of my life doing things right. I was a good student in high school, went to college, and then chose a path to an upper-middle-class life that is well worn by risk-averse overachievers: law school. All around me in New York City, it seemed people were doing dynamic, fascinating things, but I had no idea how to be one of them. No knowledge of how to balance my desire for an interesting life with the need for stability. And growing up with parents who were the first in their families to elbow their way into the middle class, I understood instinctively that stability mattered most. So, more than $200,000 in debt from law school, I took a job at a Manhattan law firm, clicking like a Clydesdale in cushion-soled heels through the front doors of a big midtown building every morning, feeling very grown up. It's one of the least sympathetic and most cliched stories of modern American life. Young corporate lawyers overworked and trapped. In the romantic comedy version of this story, she's also undersexed and wears her hair in a very severe bun. She makes 6 figures, but her tasteful apartment and designer clothes don't bring her happiness. In the real-life version of this story, most of that money goes to her law school loans, and she lives with a roommate in Brooklyn. The story doesn't end with me leaning in harder and opening my own firm, or leaning all the way out and moving to Bali to do yoga, or meeting someone.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?